You were talking about when apparent attack comes. And there are certain places in the world when war is happening. And the attack takes a very gross form. And it's like, I don't know if we can imagine, like your son is getting killed and your friends and, you know, in the hospital and the bombs. And so it's very, very apparent. Yeah, yeah. So how to keep staying in the heart in times like this when it's not only, everything is in the mind, you may say, but it's very...
These things don't leave you how to, they push you in the heart.
Yeah.
They strip you down. You may think, you know, some people say, but these people, they're so poor. I mean, how can you be so poor and you're worshipping God? What has God done for you? Yesterday I was driving in the car, and I said, you know, I was lucky because God gave me poverty. Yeah? At that time, God gave me poverty. And through poverty I learned a lot. So I met God in poverty, not in wealth. With wealth I wouldn't meet him, you know. I'd meet somebody else. I wouldn't have met God. I met God in poverty. You meet God in suffering and pain and things like that. Also you meet. Because then it brings you to humility also. Yeah. We can't estimate. You don't think anybody understands what's going on. Even the people who are doing these things, they don't know what's going on. Some forces driving like this. And war is always going on. Man is at war with himself. He doesn't need even an enemy. Man is at war with his own mind also. And when you say it takes a very gross form, I mean that it spills out outside. All this stored up, pent up rage and frustrations and alienation, he spits it out. And it's like somehow maybe some part of the world is a collective, so much suppression or something, and it has to erupt or something. You can't explain where it started, where it come from or something. But it comes like this. Because you think, oh, you guys, you've had a bit of peace now relatively for the last 1 year and so on. I will just continue. No, but something is only, they're cooking. You know? And it's like, you know, this peace, you say we're in peace, but you have the advantage. So it's not peace for me. And then, and something some bloodletting is happening. Something has to happen. And you think we cannot separate these people and say these are the violent ones. The violence is in everybody. We are all taking it. We are all living in each other's pain, actually, whether you're conscious of it or not. You maybe not meet it in the bedroom, but you meet it out on the street, in the bus, sitting next to the person. You're meeting it. We all somehow in this matrix, which is completely untraceable, of where our feelings begin. It's all part of this human drama. And now we are feeling, you know, we're so lucky we're here, and we are. Use this time well. Also, it may come a time when this place also erupts into violence. There are many places that you think, oh my God, they're paradises, then they exploded. You know, you don't wish this, but a wise person understands that somehow, sometimes these things happen. You know, but you ask, how can, when you see relatives and your family and so on, your children, your parents, your friends and so on, you know, being torn apart by bombs and so on. These things have happened. You know? And even now you can watch it even. We've seen it also, even on, you know, it's not the same as being there, but if you have a sensitive heart, it is like being there to watch these things happen. You know? And don't even go up in your head. Go in your heart with it. It's like if somebody beats you up on the street, you know, don't try to explain. You know, just live in the medicine of that beating up. Because sometimes it strips down things and corrects things that you could never do by effort. Also, there are so many factors together there. It's hard to say what something exactly is.
Because very easily as well, judgment comes, you know. How
well,
to...
judgment started. there. Before the fire comes, judgment is there. Judgment is there. And before the judgment, personhood is there.
It's true, you know, because I can say something about the Holocaust, which happened quite a few decades. I mean, and there's a saying that they keep putting every year, saying "forgive, but don't forget." You know, and it's very strong. It's like you are being asked not to keep remembering. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a good thing. Some things you remember because it serves you to remember something. But don't make some anniversary out of remembering. Like I said, don't make anniversaries out of your pain. Because then something wants, justice. It's justice. And every time you get a hit, you start to call up the same old thing. Again, you see, they're still at it. And it's such a torture.
And since you are born, you are seeing this in my country anyways. These things, you know.
I was in a taxi in New York, driving New York with one guy, taxi driver, and this man, he really had some chip on his shoulder, really big time, because he was feeling that there were these Jews and the whites are totally here to totally make your life, hell every single day. It's okay, you're driving, And then she says, hey, he's driving the car, the people are crossing the road without the traffic light, sometimes they're running across the road and stuff. And hey, look, exactly, see this guy, this guy. Some young guy walking across with his hat on his head, Him, like people like him, He saw me coming, he wants me to hit him, okay? He wants me to hit him so that I spend the rest of my life in jail. Why don't you use a lie? So I said, my God, it is so strong inside that you cannot even talk about it. Chance. It's like he doesn't want to hear. There's no space for anything contrary to your feeling. It's just so intense. Like he will see anything. It's like It's like I don't eat grapes. I don't eat them sort of grapes because they're black. I don't like it. Or I don't eat this thing because it's just on a, I don't know if it's the first, second, third, or fourth stage of madness or what. But you can grow up with this kind of feeling inside you, and I cannot say I blame it on our culture. I don't know what it is, but some people have very intense feelings, and they're living in this feeling, and they take some strange joy from being the persecuted one.
I can tell you from what I see in my country, in Israel, and even the Palestinians, you grow up with a kind of brainwash as well. It's like everything else, like a perception is being given to you, and that's how it is. And the media obviously is not always correct. Even in each country, they present it in their own point of view. So you just grow up with this big condition, of how to see.
How to live with hate and separation and to, And yet, there are awakened beings in your country and in Palestine also. We have to find them, talk to them. Also. How do you manage to be here and to be in the center of your heart? Yeah. Go into the belly, go into the belly of the dragon. Go and interview them there, because they'll always be there. There are beings there. If you should go into the greatest carnage, and many people are wounded and dying and dead, if you had the eyes to see the angels arriving there, totally in total serenity and total love. But while our eyes are stuffed with human conditioning, you don't see.
as well. You grow up with all these concepts, and then you go travel. And I've met quite a few people from Arabic countries that are considered to be Israelis' enemies, and no one's into it. No one's really. I mean, most of them are not even wanting this, you know.
On the one-to-one level, on the street level, it's not where it's at. Also, it can be, we use it when we need to use it, whatever. But also, a lot of our suffering is directly and proportionately linked to the strength of our identity as being body-minds. Also, and we feel life is precious. That life is something you have. You don't yet know that life is eternal. So that shapes the way that we meet life, why we're so anxious, we're so afraid and possessive. I love a place in the Bible where it says it's better to go and sit in a house where there's weeping and crying than in a house of celebration. I know what it means. There's more humility, there's more depth, there's more near to the very perfume or the presence of God in some environments than in others. When we are celebrating, we are far somehow. We're in your own trip. But I can't say this is the reason why. I can't give reasons for why things happen like that. But I know that the chance we have is to wake up. The chance you have is to wake up. Just in the same way that we go, and maybe in your dream, your phenomenal dream, you are in the middle of war, and you're looking after children hiding in a church, and the enemies are coming and they're breaking down and chopping everybody up to pieces, and you think, oh, this is what's this. You wake up from this dream, and then somehow it clears in your mind. When I say that each day we wake up from the dream, but to be awakened, to be enlightened, means you must wake up from the waking state also. You have to wake up from the waking state, because you take the waking state also to be real in that sense. But these are not easy words for everybody, because we are very much in touch with life through our sensory perceptions and our conditioning and so on. And we want to defend this conditioning. We want to continue to perceive life through the eyes of our conditioning also. You see.
This is a funny thing, because it's a conditioning that makes one suffer.
Yeah.
And strongly, especially these ones that we've been talking about now, and still there somehow one wants to preserve.
It's an exchange, because sometimes, yes, many conditioning makes you suffer, but it gives you a sense of belonging to something. You see, so you put something in, take something out. You see, which bag do you have?
And it's known because you were born like this, so it's familiar maybe.
Creates an identity.
It's a great day when people begin to see that you are not your conditioning, and you are not your body-mind in that profound sense. At the moment it feels like we are profoundly our bodies, we are profoundly our conditioning. And our problems are profound problems that come from that state. This is why it is more urgent, I feel, that people partake in satsang in some way. But the world doesn't work like that. The whole world, the whole universe is a satsang. To be alive is a satsang. But the speed of that recognition, well, I don't know. What brought you here, you see, out of millions and millions of people? Maybe your friends not here, your family not here, You have to put in a way you're here on behalf of them. You see? And don't hide your light, nor go to display your light. Just be yourself and be true. Because people come from all over. I'm not gone out calling them, please come here. But something, your own beingness came. Because somehow there's a ripeness inside you that is your chance for that, to go beyond all of this. Not to know what the next problem is going to be, but to put an end to the whole psychology of problems. And to see from divinity, to see from your own soul power. If you just live as a person, you cannot come to the end of problems. Even if you go and live on an island with everything you think you would want, you're still choosing death and destruction even. You just die in better clothes, that's all. But you have to somehow be willing to meet the life. When I say wherever you are, whatever your circumstances, right there is a door to your inmost being. It is so true. So we don't feel, oh yes, over there, when I get over there. No, it's right where you are. You're right where you are. And I cannot see any endeavor of human in the human kingdom that is as important as this, as powerful as this. That brings you from a life of mortality into timelessness. And still it has no value. This for me is the real challenge. Wars, they have always been. And maybe for a long time still they will come. But freedom, let's talk about freedom. Freedom is what we are, not what we have to fight for in a way. It's what you are. You have to fight in a sense inside. You have to look and challenge your own sense of limitation and belief in conditioning. And the support is here. Satsang is nature's life, consciousness, God's way, an exit from suffering. We don't have to go to another planet. Right here. You must bring your Eden back right here. You must bring your God right here. You must open the door. Like I say, you open the door of your own self to let God walk through. And you walk through as one. I don't know where these words go.
They would go everywhere now.
When I say that you are the light of this world, I'm talking about you as a person. You have to drop that. You have to stop relating to, referring to yourself only personally. You are the light of consciousness, and also the witness of this light, and what it revealed. Then you must confirm that. And it is not so difficult, there is no distance away. So there is a great job to be done. It's just a seeing that has to somehow continue to open up, that removes somehow this deluded mind, or see through it. It's not difficult. We have done far, far more difficult things. When the Jew go to sleep, and the Gentiles and the Christians and the Muslims and they all go to sleep, who are they? When the rich man and the poor man go to sleep, who are they? Where are their distinctions? When the policeman and the thief go to bed, who are they? Where are their distinctions? You have to find that place in your heart where everything is somehow neutralized into pure equanimity. And at the same time, on the surface, leave the pictures, leave the waves to flow, let them play. But now you don't see with eyes of separation. It's a very different, you're coming from a different place. It takes a little time to get used to freedom. I noticed there's some insects when sometimes take a bug or something, and then you have to catch him in something, and you put him outside on the floor, and you put him out, he's free now. He just stands there. They don't just go straight away. See, the mind is striving always for value. It wants value. It wants something that it can say, it can measure this. This is worth something. The self is worth nothing. It has no value. For whom can it have value? It cannot be spent. It cannot be purchased. It cannot be lost. It cannot even be found, actually. Just in the dream it creates this thing. I want you to see it so you can see and say, of course it is so. It is so. Not because I believe, but because I confirm it is so. What else can there be? Everything else is passing. Everything is passing. Some slowly, some fast. Something seems unmoving, but they are also passing. What witnesses the passing of them? And I tell you, in the state of the I am, in the state of the presence, of the knowingness, of the consciousness, everything relative to that, everything is passing. But even that also pass. In deep sleep, you have no conviction of the sense I am. And yet something is there to enjoy sleep. Don't give all these things to your head. Let them just find their place in you and settle down. That's all. Don't hold anything. Don't be a learner. Don't be an expert. Don't be anything. And you'll find that something is responding to life intuitively, automatically, spontaneously. The highest expression of life is spontaneity, in fact. A planned existence is to do a lot with fear. Be ready to leave at any moment, if that is a play that you must taste. And still that is not as great as your unchanging self. Don't want to give you more than you can take for the moment. When you come to a place of this type of samadhi within your own self, like I say, all the angels in your being are happy. They're happy. They're in tune. You're tuned up. When you think too much, you're out of tune. It is possible to think intensely within your silence, actually. To work, in the most dynamic way within your serenity and your stillness. I gotta put some fish in the pond. Sorry, they were in Satsang too also.
Can I help you with this?
Yeah. Hold them carefully, top and bottom. See, look, they're all looking at you. Did you get it?
Shalom.